welcome to How to Draw Creatures. My name's Aliza Layne, and I'm the author of Beetle the Hollowbones. I'm going to talk about drawing some creatures today. When I am thinking about how to draw a creature for Beetle the Hollowbones, I think first about what a good Halloween beast would be. So there's a million different creatures that can apply to Halloween. But one thing is trying to find a funny angle, a funny two things for the creature to be. So a skeleton mom instead of a regular skeleton, a pumpkin swordswoman instead of a regular pumpkin, a ghost chicken. Or you can make a very serious character. That's good too. I'm going to draw some goblins for you too. Beetle's super fun to draw. These are sketches or underdrawings. I like to do rough art underneath my final art. Both because I like to get my ideas down while I'm drawing and because it makes the picture look better in the end. I definitely wanted Beetle to have a unique look, and right from the start she was really fun to draw. And as I drew her more and more, she kind of turned into herself. That's a funny thing about having a character. I forgot I wrote I love drawing Beetle. So then I go in and ink all of the drawings. I kept all of these pretty rough, but this is the general process for when I'm making the book too. Most of the time I will do a messy underdrawing and then do another drawing on top of it, which means that I'm drawing the book actually even more times than that, because I do a really small drawing of the entire page beforehand called a thumbnail. One of my favorite things about coloring, which is probably both the hardest part of drawing and the most fun for me, one of my favorite things is doing the hair shine. I like to do it in a certain way, where I lay down just a bunch of little glints of light and then chomp bites out of them with the color of the rest of the hair. I think messy art is the most fun art. Even though a lot of people don't like it, it's my favorite to draw and to see in life. Let's talk about ghosts. Ghosts are really fun to draw, and they're really easy. They're actually one of those things that I don't need an underdrawing to do. I can fill a whole page with them, no problem. I think it's really important to make sure that you're drawing stuff that makes you laugh, and drawing stuff that, I don't know, when you go back and look at it, you feel a warm feeling. I think that it's a good idea to respect art that you made, even if you don't think it's good anymore. Here's a bunch of promotional drawings of Beetle that I did for, to post before the book came out. One thing that I did want to talk about was the construction drawings that I do underneath. I want to make sure that every part of the drawing has a sense of weight and a sense of energy. The hair should look like it's flowing, the ears should look like they're not just flat, they should look like they're thick, like they're made of flesh. Generally when you're drawing eyes too, you want to make them look round, although Beetle's, the art style for Beetle and the Hollowbones is pretty forgiving about that. I just want to make them look like they have depth. And I want to make eyes look alive and shiny, which is sort of a different thing than making them look perfectly round or whatever. I think the most important is for your drawings to look like they have a heart inside of them, for them to look alive and moving. And one of the ways to do that is to make sure that your drawings have a gesture to them. It's kind of like when you put out your arm in a gesture, that feeling of movement in one particular direction. Even drawings that are standing still can become more interesting if you do a gesture. And it's also important to do poses that are outside of your comfort zone. So having Beetle's arms up over her head like that was fun for me to draw, instead of her standing just regular like in the first drawing. But you can see her shirt, which was the thing that I wanted to put in. So it's all about the moment too. I think if Beetle had the chance to really dress up, she would be wearing some really wild fashions. But she's a t-shirts girl at heart. She has a bunch of sillier, weird ones in the book, too. Another thing I think is really important is looking at pictures of the things you want to draw. And some people actually will tell you not to do this or that it's bad to do this, like you're copying or whatever, but that's not true and it'll make you worse at art. It's way important to know what you're looking at because unless you know what something looks like, you won't be able to draw it no matter how good you are. Actually, I usually make teeny tiny little drawings while I'm looking at my reference images so that I can get my idea sorted out. Here's another drawing from start to finish. You can see that I start super messy. One thing that I wanted to talk about too is inspiration from other artists. When I was drawing this picture, I was thinking about the art of Brian Froud and not my own art, not the way that Beetle usually looks. Beetle is a book, not as a character, but that too. I think it's really important to acknowledge and really use your influences. If you decide that you are drawing exactly the way that you should be drawing and you should never ever change it, you're going to find that art starts to get boring. And the only way to make it never ever boring and to make yourself feel really excited to do it again every single time is if you learn from other artists. Like, that's the main way to make art fun forever. So you can see I'm going over with a pen over the rough sketch and doing all of the little details here. I think it's so important to always be learning. And it's wild how you'll learn stuff that you never even thought about. Just by looking at other people's art, you'll just learn. Actually, I didn't even go to like an art college. I learned by looking at other people's art. So I loved painting this. It was so fun. I really like doing like rough watercolor looking painting. Getting out of your comfort zone is so super important. I'm just thinking about it as I'm like looking at this image. I think that's the biggest thing that I wanted to talk about too, like for the whole video, but like I think that's one of the most important things of all is to always be trying new things and never be like drawing the same thing over and over because you're sure you can draw that thing. Unless you're drawing new stuff all the time, you're gonna stay exactly the same as ever. Happy drawing. Bye.